2022 is the year of the tiger. In Chinese culture, the tiger is known as the king of all beasts and is a symbol of courage and strength. On January 5th, 2022, China Post released the Year of the Tiger stamps. Info on the official website of the issuer explains that this set of the Year of the Tiger special stamps is the 7th set in the 4th round of Chinese zodiac stamps. It elaborately depicts the beauty of the tiger. However, the Chinese public is spooked by these stamps. Why? Because the featured tigers look sad and anxious. The topic has quickly made its way to the top search list in China. According to the issuer, the first tiger picture shows an imposing tiger on a mountain, standing and gazing into the distance with great ambition. The second stamp is a gentle tiger mother with 2 cubs in a heartwarming atmosphere, signifying the prosperity of offspring and a happy family. However, the public has commented that the tiger in the stamp doesn't have the momentum of a fierce tiger descending from a mountain, but rather looks confused and helpless with a sad face. The New Year stamps should give people feelings of good fortune, but what has happened to this set of stamps? More observations about the newly released stamps include, it's a true reflection of the tiger's mood. With 2 cubs, the female tiger is already worried, not to mention that she might be urged to have the 3rd cub. The tigers are anxious because they are concerned about the people who are about to enter the Year of the Tiger. The artist who designed the stamps is a well-known Chinese painter who receives the State Council's special allowance and has more than 20 years of experience in painting tigers. In his previous works, the tigers have all looked powerful. No one knows why his tigers look sad in 2022. Prompted by the public outcry, the artist explained to the Chinese media, the painting goes beyond animal attributes and is humanized. His explanation sparked even more comments. Chinese people have made comments such as, this year is really going to be difficult, or, it symbolizes the pessimistic outlook of the struggling general public on the future. It also shows a vivid image of the helplessness, despair, and resentment of the leaks. Some media outlets have directly paraphrased what people are saying, stating, the problem is the personification. How can you not be worried when you are a person? Tigers only need to worry about food and drink, but being a human is much more complicated with many concerns such as the pandemic, stock market, and employment issues. So the artist is just being realistic. There are people who thank the painter, saying it's the artist who really understands the plight of the people after all. Here we will explain a bit of China's zodiac culture. In ancient China, astronomers determined the 12 zodiac signs according to the characteristics of the 12 animals and the timing of their activities, coupled with their observation of the cosmos. Each Chinese person has a zodiac sign of his or her own, depending on the year of birth. The corresponding zodiac signs are endowed with different characteristics.
There are a lot of couplets and blessing stickers of character food with the images of tigers on them. These couplets are particularly popular because people expect themselves to forge ahead with the vigor and vitality of the tiger in the new year. My grandson was born in the Year of Tiger. We're selecting a pair of Spring Festival couplets with the Chinese character tiger, wishing that he can forge ahead with the vigor and vitality of the tiger.
These zodiac signs rotate with years and complement each other to reduce the tendencies of extremes and form a moderate pattern. For example, the rat represents intelligence and the ox is diligent. The tiger represents courage, and the rabbit is endowed with the virtue of caution. The horse has a clear goal, and the goat is easygoing. The monkey is flexible, and the rooster is stable as it crows regularly. The dog is loyal, and the pig is quite easygoing. The Chinese zodiac year is determined according to the traditional lunar calendar. The Year of the Tiger begins on February 1st, 2022. To celebrate, the traditional Chinese New Year is known as Guonian. Nian means the great harvest of the grains in Chinese. It contains the inner meaning of ancient Chinese expressing gratitude towards the divine for their blessings and praying for good weather in the coming year after the harvest. Various customs, rituals, and activities during the New Year celebrations all revolve around this theme. Traditionally, the New Year's calendar was promulgated by the emperor. The earliest Chinese calendar was issued about 5,000 years ago by the Yellow Emperor, from the time period of about 2711 BC to 2599 BC. So the traditional Chinese calendar used to be known as the Imperial Calendar or Yellow Calendar as well. The content of these calendars was very rich, including the growth of crops, days suitable for certain activities such as weddings, funerals, building houses, or traveling. New Year's Eve is the climax of the New Year celebration. It's the day of worshiping the divine and ancestors. Activities include setting a shrine table of heaven and earth, posting on the door the picture of the gate god, receiving the gods of fortune, wealth, and longevity, inviting the statue of the kitchen god, putting up the celebratory couplets, and setting off firecrackers. They are all related to the Chinese tradition of worshiping the divine. In other words, celebrating the Yellow New Year has a great significance and far-reaching impact on the life of Chinese people. On October 1st, 1949, the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, took over power and established its regime in China. Prior to the takeover on September 27th, the CCP decided to change the celebration of traditional Chinese New Year, Guonian, to Spring Festival, or Chunjie. Many Chinese people have never even questioned the CCP's intention behind such a change. Why use the term Spring Festival when it's clear that spring hasn't yet arrived, at the end of January and the beginning of February? A lot of good Chinese people think that the CCP has made mistakes in the process of developing the country. But a glance at the history of the CCP shows the contrary. Every move of the CCP has a consistent goal behind it. It has never loved the Chinese people or the nation. The term Spring Festival was adopted to cut off the Chinese people's connection with their roots and wipe out their memory of the inner meaning of the New Year, as what lies behind the term is the belief in the divine and its immense and rich traditional culture of thousands of years. The essence of the traditional culture is the moral cultivation of the human mind to keep the entire populace at a high moral standard. Yet the CCP wants the opposite. The sorrowful-looking tiger, perhaps an intentional work of the artist or an unintentional act, has been much discussed by the Chinese public, showing that the communist regime is facing a serious crisis and that even the Chinese people, who are propaganda-fed and oblivious, are sensing that the year 2022 will be unusual. Many media and related consulting firms around the world have also seen this change. On January 3, 2022, an American political risk consulting firm announced the world's top 10 risk forecasts for 2022. The first one is the possible failure of the CCP's zero-COVID policy. It's considered to be the biggest risk in the world because it has the potential to exacerbate the disruption of global supply chains and inflation pressures. The fourth world risk is that the CCP will face challenges at home. These include a growing Western backlash, an unsustainable growth model, an over-leveraged and unbalanced economy, and a rapidly aging population. In addition, China's economic problems have been identified by Bloomberg, the Voice of Germany, and the Economist Intelligence Unit, EIU, as one of the top threats to the global economy. On October 27, 2021, the EIU announced the top 10 variables of global growth and inflation in 2022. The first one is the deterioration of the US-China relationship forces the global economy to completely decouple, and the possibility is considered high. The third is China's real estate collapse, leading to a sharp economic slowdown, and is considered a high possibility. It can be said that the world in 2022 is full of uncertainties, and the CCP is the biggest uncertainty in the world. From the point of view of China's tigers, the reality is concerning. The ecological environment for tigers is not very good. Historically, China has been a tiger empire. It has the highest number of wild tigers in the world, with Asia being the only region where tigers are found, and more than half of them live in China. Moreover, it has the highest number of tiger species in the world. There are 9 species of tigers in the world, including the extinct ones, and 5 of them live in China. This tiger isn't moving. The car got there and saw the tiger. I dare not drive anymore. Hastily, I took a cell phone to shoot a video. I looked at the tiger right into its eyes. I was scared and my heart was pounding. It was only about 5 meters away from me. My goodness, it really scared me. I drove away. Don't offend the tiger again. However, because of the loss of habitat, poaching, and illegal trade fueled by people's insatiable consumption of tiger products, this fantastic creature of the wild is rapidly disappearing from mainland China. Chinese media reported that the Xinjiang tiger, once distributed in the westernmost part of China, has become extinct. The South China tiger, once the most abundant, has also become extinct in the wild. According to a report released in 2016 by Traffic, an international wildlife trade research organization, between 2000 and 2015, the magnitude of tiger body parts and their products seized through law enforcement in Asian countries is estimated to have killed at least 1,755 tigers, or an average of more than 2 tigers per week that were poached or traded illegally. In 2019, there were less than 50 wild tigers remaining in China. Their mother doesn't have enough milk to provide sufficient nutrition. Now they're in good shape. Their daily activities and diets are also fine. They're also having minced chicken because they're too young to chew. In the face of dwindling population and disappearing habitats, how can the tigers command supremacy in such an environment? How can they feel powerful? In the year of the tiger, it's understandable that the tigers are looking sad.